straight World Series. My buddies in LA are very excited about this. The Dodgers sweeping the Brewers and now have a chance to defend their title. It was a crazy game by Shohei. He hit 2 home runs while also pitching 3 home runs, I'm being corrected. Not 1, not 2, 3, while also pitching 6 scoreless innings in a performance many of his teammates are calling the best day in baseball history. ESPN reporter Alden Gonzalez, you were there last night. What was it like being at Dodger Stadium for this?
It was incredible. I've been at Dodger Stadium for a lot of really special Shohei Ohtani nights, and this one was at the top. I mean, he hit his second home run, a home run that, by the way, I think left the stadium to right field, and I could feel Dodger Stadium shake underneath me. There are not many instances where that happens. And then going into the clubhouse after the game, just hearing the way his teammates talked about it, it was as if they were talking about somebody who resides on another planet. And they just couldn't really find the adjectives or the proper way to describe what was going on because it is so unprecedented.
It seems like fans should just take a step back and just realize what we're witnessing here in real time.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, look, from a historical standpoint, this is incredible, right? Like nearly 50 years ago, Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in a World Series game, and we still talk about it. Shohei Ohtani basically did that, but he also pitched 6 scoreless innings, struck out 10 batters. I mean, needless to say, nobody in the history of baseball has come close to doing that in any game, but let alone a playoff game, let alone a playoff game that clinches a pennant. Kike Hernandez, one of his teammates, said it best yesterday. He said, look, there's nobody in the entire world who could do this. There's nobody in the history of baseball who could do this. And that's why he is who he is. But outside of the historical component, this was special from a contextual standpoint. Shohei Ohtani had been slumping so bad going into this game. There were questions swirling around him about whether attempting to pitch and then also hitting was affecting him offensively. And then to do both of these on this night, he took home the NLCS MVP, even though he was basically non-existent for the entirety of this series before that game. And look, people around him on the Dodgers, people around him on the Angels, his prior team, they've always said that Shohei Ohtani has a flair for the dramatic. This was just the latest example of that.
I mean, this Dodgers team was winning with Shohei being awful. Now the fact that he's on track, it seems like this is almost inevitable. So
can we talk about the tatted clown? We're not going to talk about the tatted clown.
We can talk about it.
We need Buster only with us. Buster, where does this rank among the best postseason games that you've ever seen?
Look, I'm in Seattle last night covering the American League Championship Series, and as Ohtani was doing this, it was right after the Mariners game, and you could hear the chattering among sports writers, Ohtani, Ohtani, Ohtani. But forget what sports writers are saying, just the individual reactions from teammates, other people in the ballpark in Los Angeles told you everything. After Dave Roberts had that champagne celebration, I texted with him, and he answered back, greatest individual performance ever in any sport. Look, when we first heard about Shohei Ohtani, what was said over and over and over again? That he was the Babe Ruth of Japan. Well, Babe Ruth never did what Shohei Ohtani did last night. Absolute mastery with the 3 home runs, with the 6 scoreless innings, 10 strikeouts. I mean, we need to remind ourselves every single day that what we're seeing from Shohei Ohtani has never been done before.
And he hadn't, Buster, even been playing his best baseball before this in this postseason. Why was there a pivotal moment earlier in this series?
You could see this coming. Game 2, 8th inning. He's struggling. He strikes out. He's coming back to the dugout. And the look on his face was something I've never seen in Ohtani. Rage. He was furious. We've seen happy Ohtani, joyous Ohtani. He enjoys himself, but he was angry. And what happened after that, we have learned, is that he went back to L.A., after game 2, he took batting practice outside at Dodger Stadium, which is why everybody felt like this is coming. There's something special really coming. And look, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, the greatest athletes we've ever seen. We've seen that absolute compilation of rage and effort and talent into these great performances, and that's what we saw last night.
It's something we may never see again, but then again, we could see it in the World Series for all we know from Shohei Ohtani, because the first in baseball history to have a leadoff homer as a pitcher, and we should have known that we were in line, as Buster said. for something special.
Jeff, when Shohei strikes out 3 straight batters after walking the first to start the night and then follows it up with a leadoff home run, what is the energy like in that ballpark?
Explosive. And I don't think we had a sense hyperbole. It's because he is capable of putting together games like nobody else in 6 shutout innings and a pennant-clinching win with 3 home runs on top of that certainly qualifies.
Look a lot for the cartwheels going down behind you, but also just the perspective, the contextualization surrounding this performance immediately after it happens is always tough, but doing so in playoff history, where does this rank in your mind?
I think it's at the top of the list. There have been greater individual moments. Joe Carter hitting a World Series winning home run, Bill Mazeroski, Bobby Thompson. We have seen those individual things that transcend time. But just in terms of productivity in one game, we lionize Reggie Jackson's 3 home run game. Shohei Ohtani did that, and then he threw 6 shutout innings on top of that. Like, it's an absurd conceit to even think about. And I think we get so lost in this idea that he does it all the time. Maybe not to this level, but he goes out there, and every day he's on the field, he is far and away the best player. And I think sometimes we take it for granted, or we get a little tired of it. We shouldn't, because what we're watching right now is an unparalleled talent in the history of the game. And I would argue the greatest athlete alive right now at his peak, just in terms of how he can single-handedly take over a game.
It's incredible that expectations have reached a point where we are just okay with it, but marvel at it at the same time. A beautiful spot for Shohei to be in and a beautiful spot for one Jeff Passan to be in. We appreciate you, sir.
Probably not, but the distance, the velocity of that one was pretty impressive. But yeah, it's kind of whatever you don't expect him to do it. And so I've fortunately had a pretty good seat to a lot of those moments.
Maybe the best individual performance ever in a postseason game. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Guy punches out 10 and hits 3 homers. I'm really proud of our team. I admire our team. Enough has been said. The narrative has been said many times, but it came to an end tonight to a team that was not only talented, played great.
Dodgers sweep. They're on to the World Series. Shohei Ohtani puts on possibly the greatest performance of all time, and Doug Glanville was there for the whole thing. Doug, I can't even wrap my mind around it. 6 innings pitched, 6 shutout innings, 10 Ks, 3 homers for Shohei Ohtani. Put it in perspective what this performance means in the annals of history.
I mean, I don't know. It's singular. So you think of it like a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse or something. I mean, you just don't see anything like this. And, history will show that when you're talking about the postseason clinching a game, it's Shohei Ohtani. And that's why the only adjective to describe him is to use his own name and just call him Ohtani. Because I don't know how else you put into context someone who does things all the time that you've never seen before in a baseball field. I mean, he just took the Milwaukee Brewers, which, by the way, had a great offense and won 97 games, and he absolutely reduced them to rubble on the mound and with the bat. 3 home runs, 6 innings shutout, and 10 strikeouts. So, I mean, who does that? That sounds like multiple people. That sounds like 4 different people. But no, it's actually one. It's Shohei Ohtani. And this is what he does on the field. So it's really mind-blowing what he's able to put together on this stage and, of course, help the Dodgers get to the World Series.
Single-handedly taking the Brewers out of this game in every way. Describe the environment, though, Doug. You're right there. You're watching the crowd. Describe the anticipation, because it always strikes me with Ohtani when he's pitching, when he's doing stuff like this, like when he had the regular season game, when he went 6 for 6, had those homers, had 2 steals. It always makes me think of, like, what is it like for the fans there, watching him on the mound with that anticipation, then seeing him do that at the plate? What was it like then?
Yeah, during the call, we were talking about, well, isn't this worthy of a standing ovation? And, do the cap tip or something. But then there's part of you that's just like, shh, be quiet. Let's just kind of watch this. You know, you almost don't want to miss it. Like there's like a golf element to it. You just have such an appreciation for it in the artistry of someone doing what he's doing. So you get those kind of mixed feelings, and the fans were certainly cheering and chanting MVP, but you're also like, I want to savor this because I just have never seen this and I may never see this again. But then Ohtani does something else and you're like, oh yeah, okay. There's something else I haven't seen before. You know, he hit one of those home runs, by the way, out of the stadium. So, I mean, it's like, it's not just like, I'm just doing this. I'm doing it at a level that is like, you know, celestial or something, you know. So it's really a joy to watch, and it makes me appreciate baseball even more. And I played at this level, and I still just sit here and go, what am I looking at? Because it's just unbelievable.
And you said it. You might never see anything like this ever again, except if Shohei does more, which you kind of have to expect at this point. Doug Glanville, unbelievable game, unbelievable performance. Good to talk to you, my friend. Domination. That's what you call Shohei Ohtani's series-clinching performance tonight. 6 shutout innings, 10 Ks, 3 homers to boot. And just on the homers for a second, 427, 446, and 469 feet. The last one leaving the park. Dodgers sweep the Brewers at the 5-1 win. They're on to their second World Series in a row. And now to the mound. Ohtani, masterful, struck out 10, allowed no runs, 6 innings pitched. Third Dodger pitcher with 10 strikeouts and no runs allowed in a series clincher, joining this company. Sandy Koufax and Clayton Kershaw.
I already know what the answer is going to be. Aside from the birth of your children, was that the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life? Shohei Ohtani's postseason performance of the ages. We've had a chance to reflect on it now, Alex, a little bit. It's still incredible to me.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in the time we were here last night to now, as far as like what we just witnessed in last night's ball game. But you know, just the way that he did it too, like coming in, the narrative of just him kind of struggling offensively, being able to bounce back in the game previously to, you know, make an impact offensively, but then really making an impact offensively, and then doing what he did on the mound was impressive.
Shows how he goes to work.
Yeah.
You know, him hitting on the field and making the adjustments, and wow, what a payoff. And I do. And then I don't know that I feel any different than I did last night, and just utter shock. And just the fact that some of these historic performances went down that we talk about before our lifetime. So you don't have a chance to take the moment in. You just see it on replay. I don't know that we've ever seen anybody quite dominate on both sides of the ball. I know some pitchers have hit homers, and we've had incredible pitching performances. To do both, I'm going to say it's the best of it.
This should quiet down some of BK's arguments on making him either just a pitcher or just a hitter.
Exactly. We just want to have one thing.
Let him do both as long as possible.
BK had him closing and coming out of the bullpen.
And a happy birthday to Brian Kenny, by the way.
That is right. BK, we love you.
Listen, BK would appreciate the historical, appreciation of what's happened with Shohei Ohtani in terms of the greatest moments ever in postseason history. There's a lot to choose from, as Pete was alluding to, beginning with, of course, Don Larson. I mean, Don Larson back in 1956, the World Series in Game 5, the only perfect game in postseason history. He gave the Yankees a 3-2 series lead over Brooklyn. They'd win in 7. He was the World Series MVP. He was an 81-91 lifetime pitcher, had a 99 ERA plus for his career. Sanford Koufax, 65 World Series Game 7, complete game shutout, 10 Ks to clinch the World Series, allowed just 3 hits in the game against Minnesota. In that series, he pitched 24 innings, allowed 1 earned run, and he won MVP. My pick's Bob Gibson. 1967 World Series Game 7, a complete game, 10 strikeouts, and a solo homer to clinch the World Series. He threw 3 complete games in the series, allowed 3 total runs, earning 3 of the 4 wins, and won World Series MVP. Every Yankees fan going, come on, Reggie. 1977 World Series Game 6. 3 for 3. He swung at 3 pitches all day. All 3 were home runs. That game was 48 years ago today. 5 ribbies, 4 runs, and a walk to clinch the World Series. The first of 2 from 2011. Our teammate, Albert Pujols, 5 for 6, 3 homers, 6 ribbies, 4 runs scored. His 14 total bases tied with Bob Robertson for the most in a postseason game. His 5 hits tied for the most in a postseason game as well. Game 3 of the World Series. And later in that World Series, Game 6. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Joe Buck paying homage to his dad, Jack Buck, the game-tying triple in the 9th and a walk-off homer in the 11th to extend the series. Won him the World Series MVP after also winning NLCS MVP. His jersey from that game is now in Cooperstown. And then, of course, Shohei Ohtani. In case you missed it, 3 home runs, 6 scoreless innings, and 10 strikeouts to clinch a World Series berth. he struck out 10 and hit 1,342 feet of home runs. The first player, 3 or more homers and 10 or more strikeouts in one game in the regular season or postseason.
Logan, I'm not sure whether you saw Dave Roberts kind of lean in a little last night after the win about the ruining of baseball that his team has been accused of. He said something, let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball. I'm just wondering, do you feel like that, is there any truth in that statement? What do you think of the accusations of the Dodgers ruining baseball?
I didn't see that one. That's a question I want to be maybe careful about what I say, but honestly, I don't have anything bad to say. I think it's just a very loaded issue right now. I think it's great when really good players get paid a lot of money. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's fun for the people in it, at least. I don't know what fans think really, but if we're fortunate enough to win one more game, I think it's exactly what you dream of. And the hundreds of years of baseball, like this could be the best team ever in the Dodgers that we could get to go against. Like that's the opportunity you dream of. So I personally, I think it's great, but I don't know what other people think.
Along those lines, what are your thoughts on what Shohei Ohtani did last night as a pitcher and a hitter?
Unbelievable. I mean, he's, I think, by far the best player that's ever played the game. I know that other people have different opinions too, but in the moment too, like that's a clinching game in the NLCS against a really good team, a first place team. And he can go and do things like that where he just kind of sets himself up above the rest of the competition, even elite players on the same stage. So it is really fun to watch. I don't love watching home run highlights, but I mean, it is fun to see what he's doing.
And what did you make of Shohei's performance last night?
Yeah, I mean, incredible performance. Unprecedented, really, to see what Shohei did. On the mound and at the plate. He just it's just almost unfathomable to think that one person was capable of that, and just a great ball game for him. And congratulations to the Dodgers for advancing. So that's a history making game for sure.
John, baseball fan, and you have any thoughts on Shohei Ohtani last night?
Wow. I mean, I think in the postseason, when you're talking about either a guy going 6 innings, punching out 10, or hitting 3 homers, he's standing up here and he's famous. The dude did both. Pretty incredible, changing the way the game is being played right now. Pretty unbelievable.
No, but Shohei, I think, he's got a couple of superpowers. The first one, I think it's his arsenal. He's got 7 pitches he can beat you with. We talked to Will Smith earlier. It's like he has something for everybody. As a hitter trying to game plan off him, you think you have him figured out. He'll come up with different pitches to try to get you out. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's such a good pitcher. He's got 7 elite pitches to get somebody out. I mean, you can see here. Look at all this. This is everything you got to deal with as a hitter. You think, okay, man, I'm going to eliminate this pitch. Well, I got 6 other ones to deal with. Going to the next board here. These are his percentage from the regular season to last night's game, right? That split finger all of a sudden came out of nowhere. I think guys he throws it, but he ends up getting 5 out of his 10 strikeouts with it as a put away pitch. So his ability to be able to use all of his pitches like that, Gallus, is incredible. Oh, and by the way, he provides his own offense. So that's the greatest superpower of all. There's no excuse of, this guy's got the worst run support in the league. That's why he doesn't have a good record. He provides his own run support. So, I mean, there's no other guy that can do this. So, like I said, his ability to be able to do that, it is absolutely Superman worthy. Now, this is his slugging percentage.
This you dug up yourself.
Yes. This is his slugging percentage when he started. So it's him, obviously. Babe Ruth. Yeah. Look at all the black and white photos. We got Herb, hitting the streets in Pittsburgh. There's no way he's had any ounces of water at all in his entire life running the streets in Pittsburgh. But look at this. This is unbelievable. Well, him and Babe Ruth. That's the slugging percentage while they're pitching.
Irv Brame also reportedly excelled at churning butter. So he was a guy that would do a lot of good things, both on the mound and off.
That leathery face going on. Somebody's been punching him.
Oh my God, I'll take him.